Father, here I am, heart stretched thin, mind tangled in a web of what-ifs, and hands clenched with all the things I can't control. My spirit is tired of pretending it's unbothered. I don't know what's ahead, and I admit that unsettles me. There are moments when I want to believe I trust you fully, but if I'm honest, my trust sometimes wavers, not because you've failed, but because my fears often whisper louder than my faith. And yet here I am, not giving up on you, still showing up, because deep down, I know you're not going anywhere. Your word says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. God, I want to surrender. I really do. But how do I do that when my understanding is screaming at me from every angle? I'm surrounded by uncertainties, the finances that don't add up, the diagnosis I didn't see coming, the relationship that's drifting in silence, the prayers that still feel unanswered. It's hard to walk by faith when I feel like I'm walking blind. But if your word is true, and I believe it is, then you haven't called me to walk by sight. You've called me to walk in step with your spirit, to trust that even when I don't see the way, you are the way. So God, build in me a trust that isn't skin deep or Sunday morning thin. I'm not asking for the kind of faith that just sounds good in a journal. I want the kind that anchors me in the eye of the storm, the kind that says, even if everything falls apart, I will still praise you. Thinking about Abraham, how you told him to leave everything familiar and he followed you into a land he didn't even know. He didn't have GPS. He didn't have a detailed plan. He just had your voice. And somehow, that was enough. Let your voice be enough for me too. When fear rises, remind me of who you are. You're the God who split the sea, the God who rained manna in the wilderness, the God who shut the mouths of lions. You haven't lost your power, and you certainly haven't lost sight of me. Teach me to lean in when I want to run. Teach me to pause before panic. Teach me to worship while I wait. Help me recognize the subtle ways I try to control things that aren't mine to carry. The way I obsess over outcomes. The way I replay conversations. The way I rehearse worst-case scenarios. Unclench my fists, God. Let me open my hands to your will even when it looks nothing like mine. And when you say, wait, even if you're silent in that waiting, give me the courage to believe that silence isn't absence, that quiet doesn't mean abandonment. You're not a God who teases with hope only to leave us stranded. You're Emmanuel, God with us. Even in the fog. God, I don't want to build my life on sinking sand. I want to stand on the rock. Make that more than just a metaphor to me. Make it the very rhythm of my being. A trust so deeply rooted that when the winds howl and the waves crash, I won't be moved. Jesus, I remember how you slept in the storm. Your disciples were panicking, waves crashing over the sides of the boat, chaos everywhere, and you slept. Why? Because you were at peace with the will of the Father. Because storms don't scare the one who made the sea. Give me that kind of trust. The trust that rests not because the storm is over, but because you are in the boat with me. Even if you speak peace, be still, or even if you let the storm rage a while longer, help me to hold on to the truth that I am not alone. You are still God when the job falls through. You are still God when the medical report comes back uncertain. You are still God when relationships fracture. You are still God when the night is long and sleep won't come. You are still God when answers feel distant. Lord, I confess, I've tried to fix things myself. I've leaned on my own understanding. I've tried to micromanage outcomes. I prayed, let your will be done, but lived like it was all up to me. Forgive me for trying to play God in places you never asked me to. Forgive me for trusting the plan more than the planner. Forgive me for reducing trust to a feeling instead of a decision rooted in your character. You've never failed me. Even when I didn't understand your ways, you've always been faithful. So help me remember. Help me call to mind every moment you showed up when I didn't see a way. The times you carried me through pain I thought would break me. The doors you opened that I didn't even knock on. The peace you gave me when all logic said I should have been falling apart. If you did it before, I believe you'll do it again. And Lord, if I forget, remind me. If I grow weary, strengthen me. If I start doubting, steady me. Let your word become my lifeline, not just a verse I quote, but a voice I follow, a breath of truth when anxiety suffocates, a sword of promise when lies try to take root. Let me speak your truth out loud until my heart believes it again. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Psalm 56:3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalm 46:1. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. Let these truths soak into every corner of my doubt. Let them echo louder than the fear. Let them become the language of my soul. Lord, I won't pretend I have it all figured out. I won't pretend I don't still get afraid. But I will choose to place my trust in you. Again and again and again. Even if my hands shake while I do it, even if my voice trembles while I say it, even if I have to remind myself 20 times a day, you are trustworthy, and you are still good. Let my trust not be in the outcome, but in you, the one who holds all outcomes in your hands. I surrender the illusion of control. I lay down the idol of certainty. I give up the exhausting chase of having all the answers, and I ask instead for peace, not the fragile kind the world gives, but the kind that wraps around my heart like a shield and whispers, you are held, you are seen, you are not forsaken. God, give me grace for the process, grace for the days I feel strong, and grace for the days I want to crawl back under the covers and hide from it all. You are patient with me, so I will be patient with myself too. I trust that even in the waiting, you are working. Even in the silence, you are moving. Even in the unknown, you are already there. I may not see the full picture, but I will walk with the painter. I will walk with you, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one surrendered moment at a time. And I'll keep coming back to this space, not because I'm perfect at trusting you, but because you are perfect in being trustworthy. You are faithful, not just in the grand miracles, but in the quiet mercies of everyday moments. You are faithful when the sun shines and when the clouds don't lift. You are faithful when I understand and even when I don't. So I will trust you here in this season, in this storm, in this silence, in this not yet, because you are still God, and I am still yours. Amen.